This is about 21-year-old guy natively living in Karur, and in the pressure of his father, he had joined BE in Chennai 2 years back and has been having dysuria with some odd tiredness for the past 6 months. His father has been accusing that he pretends to be fatigued. He came for ultrasound abdomen, and due to the findings in the ultrasound, CT abdomen was also done with IV contrast. Two images are given. First image is the ultrasound image focusing only the left kidney. Left upper one is the left kidney image in long axis, and right upper one is in color Doppler and in short axis, and the left lower one is the magnified left kidney focusing the lesion, and the right lower one is in spectral flow on Doppler. The second image is the CT image focusing only one section showing both the kidneys in plane without contrast in the left upper side. Arterial phase image is on right upper side. Left lower one shows venous phase and the right lower one shows 7 minutes delay. Please go through the images, and if you want more time, pause the video and review in detail and think about the findings and the diagnosis. So what do you think and about the findings and the diagnosis? Are you ready? Let's go on to the findings and the diagnosis. Ultrasound revealed a nearly round hyperechoic lesion in the lower pole of left kidney, obscuring the lower calyx with increased vascularity in Doppler. Few small calculi are seen in both the kidneys with no calaceal dilatation. CT scan done in plain and in biphasic IV contrast with 7-minute delay show a solid lesion which is moderately and almost homogeneously enhancing lesion of nearly 3 cm in diameter in the anterior lower cortex of left kidney. It seems to be impinging the lower calyx with mild bulge of the adjacent anterior renal capsule with no fatty or calcific or non-enhancing component. There is no renal vein thrombosis. Perirenal space looks normal. Few small calculi are also noted in both the kidneys, which was the clinical diagnosis of the clinician. CT brain and chest appeared unremarkable. The images are not given. The provisional diagnosis was either renal cell carcinoma or angiomyolipoma. Frozen section was done in the operation theatre just before the surgery, which revealed renal cell carcinoma, and nephrectomy was done. And the final pathologic diagnosis was clear cell renal cell carcinoma. After this, I will say renal cell carcinoma as RCC. For the past 15 years, I have seen 3 similar cases of RCC of less than 40 mm in size and diagnosed on ultrasound incidentally with minimal or no symptoms. This is the youngest man who is 21-year-old guy with RCC in the left kidney. Next one is 45-year-old guy but had some painless hematuria at that time, and I am not giving the images here. The other one is 28-year-old pregnant lady who has been incidentally diagnosed as RCC while screening the maternal kidneys while undergoing growth scan after 28 weeks of pregnancy. Here also I am not giving the images. All the 3 underwent nephrectomy and all of them had same clear cell carcinoma in the pathologic diagnosis. That's the most common pathologic diagnosis and has the best prognosis. All the 3 people are doing well for the past 8 to 12 years with no symptoms. The lady came with second pregnancy after 5 years and had normal outcome till delivery. Now we can go for discussion. Theoretically, it said that RCC is most commonly seen after 50 years and is more common in smokers, hypertension, and in morbidly obese individuals. All these 3 cases of RCC are probably sporadic because they are non-obese with no hypertension. All of them are non-smokers and have no family history. But all the 3 love to eat and like to travel in cars for long distance once in a month or 2. Usually they sleep late and also wake up later with typical sedentary lifestyle. Most important fact is all the 3 love to eat broiler chicken, often at house or outside 3 or 4 times a week. Recently, gene variants are considered to be the cause of any inflammatory or endocrinological or tumor diseases worldwide. These genetic variants can be either inherited or non-inherited. Inherited or hereditary variants usually normally born into patients who are mutated and then might be passed from them to their children. In this RCC, von Hippel-Lindau disease might be mutated. I presume these 3 people didn't have the mutation. Presence of genetic specialist is the need of the hour now to tackle such cases. We will go to the other one, non-inherited variant. Non-inherited variants are the acquired characteristic non-heritable change which does not transfer to the offsprings. It can be due to injury or due to accident or due to deliberate modification in their lifestyle. It can be diet or it can be due to altered circadian rhythm, or it can be due to a lot of stress with too much of use or disuse or misuse of something. Like the best example is our smartphone, and sometimes other environmental factors too add the trouble, and it's said multifactorial challenges give the non-inherited variants. Now the non-hereditary variant is the most common cause of malignancies in those people with no risk factors. For example, breast cancer is the most common malignancy in any oncology hospital in India, and 10 to 25% of of the involved persons might not have any risk factors. All of the involved sporadic population in malignancy might have one or more of the above facts. Most of us might be foodie in our population who love to eat much more carbs, and not to say that much more they are like to sleep late night and wake up after 8 o'clock. None to say that those people definitely will have sedentary lifestyle, which has become the normalcy now. Yes, that's the lifestyle in the majority of our population. I mean, even in doctors. Whether this has to be worried or not, I call my surgical oncologist and my urologist about this. They still say that the sporadic cases are still rare and not to be worried and need not give menace to the general population. Even though they are giving cool down message to the general population, I am more worried in this COVID era. Everybody knows that the best developed country of the world with so much of money and power, I'm talking about the United States, having so much of international allopathic strength and so much of publications and guidelines in medical and surgical specialties. Still, it's questionable. It's highly questionable by the way United States handled or handling COVID infection. With so much of science and technologies, that should be the lowest in the world. But alas, it's not. I agree that the number about the infected persons and death due to COVID are highly open and true in US, and is not true in many countries including our India. I don't know whether to be worried or not about the way of spread of infection or inflammation and even tumor in this millennium era. Now the judgment has to be personalized to me and you. So please take care and all the best. That's end of the session. Thank you very much for your patient hearing. Dear doctors, please share this with your doctor groups. Definitely I want your valuable comments. Please subscribe and thanks a lot again.